Hi everyone, Nigel Mortimer here with some breaking news regarding the Settle Sundial portal, really. There's quite a few of you that bought my actual book on the subject, Isaac Newton and the Secret Sundial. You probably know that the whole idea and proposal that I put forward that there is a portal at Settle is based on the historical fact that standing stones that once stood on the slopes of Castleberg in Settle, where the portal is situated, disappeared during the 1700s, overnight basically. And around that time, 1778, the government of England at that time commissioned two gentlemen who used to go around making sketches and drawings, engravings, etc., of prominent places to go into the news equivalent of the newspapers of that time, of famous places, of locations like Stonehenge and this and the other. And one of those places that happened to appear was the Settle Sundial on the slopes of Castleberg. But as you know from the book, the representation that two gentlemen called Book and Theory put forward in 1778 was nothing like what the locals described the stones being like on the hillside at that time. Now, they actually claim, and if you look on any sort of like Gott's artist directory, you'll find that the engraving of the Settle Sundial was actually supposedly their piece of artwork. They're always claimed as being the artists of the work, and I believe this myself up until fairly recently. But something that's come around in the last couple of weeks, a revelation really to me, and hopefully to yourselves, is that something very, very odd and mysterious took place back in the 1700s that is equivalent to almost like a Men in Black story of today. Definitely a government cover-up, and this just blew me away when I saw it. I hope you understand and have a look at this and come to your own conclusions, but I'm going to present it here exactly as I found it. I've been trying to investigate more information. I'll talk about a little later about it, and you'll see. Most people that have got the book, as Newton's Secret Sundial, I'll try and hold this right up to the camera so you can see it. We'll better see the engraving that I'm talking about there. That was supposedly engraved, drawn, sketched, whatever, by Samuel Book and Theory back in 1778. Now, as far as anybody knows, that's the only engraving, the only depiction of that particular picture anywhere in existence. Now, I'm stuck here for a short while at least. I cannot reveal my sources at the moment. I've not been given permission to do so because it probably leave this person in a lot of trouble. But I found out in the last couple of weeks that Book and Theory did not make the original sketch. And this really, opens up a lot of implications as to why anybody would go around claiming the picture. But after I explain what's actually on the picture, you'll see probably why. This person, who remains unnamed at the moment, lives in the Settle area, so I have to be very, very careful. But they have managed to get me a copy, a digital copy from a camera of the actual original sketch. And it wasn't by Book and Theory. Now, I'm going to show the picture now of the original sketch. It's in situ on a wall in a building in the area. That's all I'll say. Here it is. Now, first glances at this, you're going to think, well, it's exactly the same. Although you can see that it's not an engraving, it's actually a pencil sketch. But there is something in the picture, two particular things in the picture that are not on the engraving that I've shown you already. And is available anywhere online if you have a look. And it's going to be very difficult, but if you can get the resolution up on your monitor on this and have a look, you might be able to see what I'm getting at. I'll certainly put the pictures up on Facebook later on for you to have a closer and clearer look at it. Looking at the screen in the right hand corner, there's a hill that, even in the Book and Theory sketch, everybody who said that hill should not be there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist then, and it doesn't exist today. So that hill was put in an imaginary hill just behind the tree on the right-hand side. But if you've got a keen eye and you look just above that hill, well, this is what I see. Wow. I hope everybody can see that, because it does not appear anywhere in the engraving of Buck and Fiery's depiction. Remember, they work for the government, they come up here to do the engraving of a supposedly settled sundial. Now, it doesn't take a lot of imagination there. I'll just show you, I'll go back to this in a second, I'll just show you a more original picture. This is it, just because it's so light, the drawing, it's in pencil. It's difficult to see the object, but I've tried to draw it, it's not very good at the top there. But we're talking 1778 here, and this gentleman that I'll give the name of in a second, who did the original picture, including an object there that obviously is above the hill. Obviously, I almost feel that you can see almost like a pencil line behind it, as if it's actually swooping from the distance over the hill into the foreground, and doesn't look too dissimilar to the UFO types that have been seen in other ancient pictures, religious pictures and things. And what's it doing right over this imaginary hill that isn't there? I mean, you know, you can read on the screen there what I put, but remember, it's not a bird, obviously, it doesn't look anything like a bird. Is he trying to imply that this thing was almost looping into view? Amazing. But it's not on the original sketch. So we'll go back so you can have a closer look at the digitized version of this that I've done, and you can see it's almost like flying saucer shaped. You can see the black line, like the loop in the background, as if it's giving the impression of it moving with speed, almost like cartoon drawers do today. And one of them two sort of round circular orb-like things at the front are some kind of, I don't know, headlights or beams of light. Very interesting, particularly in view that it was actually drawn in 1778. Now I'm going to go back to the original picture here, and you might then be able to see what I'm getting at if you look very, very closely again above the tree on the right hand side where that imaginary little hill is. There's the object, very faint but definitely drawn in by the original artist. I'm going to give you the name of the original artist because I'm trying at the moment my best to look at there is a local family with the same name as this artist, so in existence in the area, so hopefully I can try and find out if this was an ancestor that drew it. I'm going to look at now, show you the name so you can see it's not just me making this up, it's actually on the picture itself. There you go, and it's a Mr. or Mrs. H.G. Cook. Cook spelt with an E, and you can see the date there, the same date that Buck and Fiery put on their depiction of the engraving of May the 18th, 1778. You can see 1778 under there. And this person has passed this on to me. Obviously, it's a shame I can't qualify who it is, but all I can say at this moment in time, they would be in the know that this is an original. It's not something that's been done since or anything, that I'm pretty certain myself that this is an original. So, there we go. There was the original artist. This guy, all these hundreds of years, has not been given credit for the drawing he took. Did he see something absolutely extraordinary on the slopes of Castleberg by the portal? And why has he included this hill? What's going on there? I mean, was he part of the conspiracy? Was he working with the government? Because even if we look at this picture, it's his sketch, but there's still things on it like the flat stones with the Roman numerals on it that everybody said locally did not exist. So is he with the conspiracy? Is he trying to, show partly something and keep hidden something else? But there's one other thing that it was Helen, actually, my wife, that spotted this some days after we were looking at the flying object on the picture. And this is amazing in itself. The stone that's in the foreground, at bottom left-hand corner of this picture that you're looking at, when you look at the engraving, which, again, I'll show you on the front cover of the book, very difficult to see. I'll try and get right up to the camera. Not very good there, but I'm getting there. There we go. Can you see in the bottom corner there? I mean, all that looks like, to be honest with you, is a haystack. And I didn't even think it was a boulder, to be honest with you, in the engraving, the Buck and Fiery's picture. So we've got something very strange there again, in that when you see this original sketch, it's a boulder, I'd say about 3.5 feet tall, and it's in a position where if you go to that position, it's obviously the Castleberg side, the town side of the river, because there's no river depicted in the picture, and there's these houses here on the right hand side of the actual picture you're looking at. look like what we call today upper settle, which is just below where the portal is. So this stone, I thought I'd have a look and see if it is important in any way, shape or form, because if you look at the overall picture, the sunlight that's shining between the two, the three flat stones on the hillside, seems to be shining right onto this stone in the left-hand corner. So I thought about this and thought, well, surely, this stone's 3.5 feet tall, it must be old. Is it made out of the same sort of stone that we find on top of the rocks here at the summit of Castleberg? And lo and behold, last weekend when I went out to have a look around, here we go. You're going to be blown away by this, because the stone is there. It's almost got the same markings on that are in the picture, but more extraordinary, and there's people that must know about this that are in the know. I mean, that stone is different to the stones all around the Booth car park and that, so I imagine it's been left there in situ from years ago. It doesn't look like it's been placed there as an ornamental or anything, but just adjacent to it, less than, I don't know, 30 yards away, we have placed on the ground in the play park at Booths a sundial, a round circular sundial on the floor that actually works if you stand on it. Is this just some sort of cryptic clue that, those in the know, whenever they pass this boulder, know that it connects with that picture? I just find it too, out of all the places, I mean, we're talking about, miles around that this stone could be anywhere, but it happens to be there, located within yards of the sundial on the floor. These things are just revelations that are coming around all the time and just going on to confirm that the portal is what we think it is. And now I'm absolutely sure that back in 1778 there was this gentleman, Cook, or somebody that he knew, that had actually seen a UFO, some aerial object. I'm not going to say it's a flying saucer at this point, but we've got a hill. Was that hill in another dimension? It certainly isn't in existence today or then, and this object's right above it. I mean, did this guy have the second sight and could see into these dimensions? Was he drawing something that, that he'd actually seen himself? I'll leave this open to debate. There are people out there, as we've seen recently, that seem to jump on everything that I'm putting forward as being either, I don't know, they'll probably say that this object is a bird or something, or a flying cow. But that doesn't matter. What we're finding is it's amazing. This is back in 1778. I'm very happy to say that I'm convinced that something very unusual has happened in Settle over the last few hundred years, and to know your views on it. So there you go. Been dying to get this information out there. There's a lot more investigation to go on, obviously, but it's a start. Okay, see you later, guys.